Good evening and welcome to our second Talk Tuesday of the evening. We've previously done one at 5:30 with Louise from Lily Dilly, so if you missed that, do feel free to go check that out. But for now, we are joined with Leon from Wedstones, who specialises in designer engagement and wedding rings.
Hello, good evening.
You all right? So last time we talked to you at one of our Talk Tuesdays was all the way back in July. Little did I know that the very next day I would then be proposed to by one of your gorgeous wedding rings. But in that video, we talked a little bit more about your background and business. So if anyone has any questions about that, do feel free to go check that video out. But if you've got any questions today you'd like to ask, add that to the comments, and we'll try and get that at the end of the video, or likewise you can email Leon directly and he will be answering those for you. But since the last time we spoke, I've seen you done a little rebrand on your website. So do you want to have a little talk through that?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, since we last spoke, we've decided to change the business slightly by adding an e-commerce website to so an online shop. So it doesn't have everything that we do, because obviously we offer thousands of rings, and also we offer bespoke. But people can actually fill in our bespoke form on there, or contact forms. But yeah, we've tried to make it. We've tried to put as much information as we can, so it really helps people understand diamonds and understand a bit more about stones and things. So we've got a good diamond guide on there. Yeah, we tried to make it. I'll show you a couple of bits actually here. I'll get my phone up and show you, because this will make a lot more sense of why we've done what we've done. So what we've done, where's the camera? There we are. So what we've done here is you've got, if you can see that, you can scroll up and down, see lots of different rings. These are our wedding rings here. You can click on the ring. It tells you the to and from price. Click on the ring, takes you through to the ring. And this one is Elizabeth. Comes in 3 different colours. You can select your. I'm trying to do this backwards, so excuse me. You can select your metal. So you can select whatever metal you want, whether you want 9-carat yellow gold or platinum, or whichever metal. You can also select your diamond colour and clarity. So that's to match your engagement ring. You want to match the colour. You've got sort of D to E diamonds, or F to G diamonds, or G to H, and also the clarities are all there. You can do that. What we can also do is we can give advice on that as well. So you're welcome to contact us if you want any advice on matching diamonds. And then you can pick your size and whether you want half size or not. And then at the bottom here, it will give you the price. So you can see the price of that starts in 9 carats at £764. We've got all the Apple Pay and bits and pieces there, so all the mod cons, as they say. You can also, what we've done is tried to add a few extra things that many websites don't offer. So you can order a free ring size gauge here. So just click on that, fill out a form, and we'll send you first class next day. We'll send you a free ring sizer, and you can size your own finger at home. So it just makes it a little bit easier. So, all the instructions are on there as well. And if you're not sure about the ring and you think, oh, actually, I like it, but I'm not 100% sure if it's going to go with my engagement ring, you can actually order a sample here. So you can order a silver sample, you pay a small deposit. Once you return that a week later, we refund your deposit, or we can take it off the price of the ring. So it makes it a little bit easier. And then this is the really exciting bit. It's the diamond education. So what we've done here is you can click on colour. If you don't understand or want to know a little bit more knowledge about what I was talking about when I was saying the DE and GE and F colours, etc. There's a good write up here, but then it gets more interesting because you've got a little slider here, and you can actually go on and you can actually, if I can get it right, you can actually see the different coloured diamonds. Here. So you look at all the different colours and you can compare. You can also, there's a good video here on diamond colour. I won't bore you with all of this, but you can then go through to diamond cut, and you can see a bit of text there and then a bit more again to look at the different diamond cuts. And then you can do the same with clarity and
Yeah.
So you can go through to, sorry, I'm trying to do this backwards. It's a bit awkward. But yeah, you can go through to your diamond clarity, see the different clarities.
Wow.
And then a video on that. And then to finish off, you can go through to carat weight. This one I particularly like. You can actually compare diamond sizes. So you can look at a 1 carat diamond and say, okay, what would that be compared to a 2 carat, for example, and you can see what a 2 carat is how it's gonna compare. So you can sort of look at your different diamond sizes as well. So it's a really in-depth guide. We wanted to do a really in-depth guide just to make it a lot simpler for people searching for rings.
Yeah, you don't really know what you're buying, and I've not seen that on other people's websites before.
Exactly. Yeah. We just thought it would. We were trying to think of everything that people would want really from a website. So when they're searching for wedding rings or engagement rings or any sort of fine jewellery online, they can come to the site and do everything, as opposed to having to go to a shop to get your ring, get your finger measured and then come back, and it just makes it easy. You can literally do it all from the comfort of your own home.
Yes.
We also still have the showroom, obviously, which is where I am now.
Yeah.
So we still have that service where you can come and enjoy a glass of Prosecco and have a relaxed glass of Prosecco and look through our rings, and we can kind of guide you and help you. So yeah, it's just offering an additional service, if you like.
It's like still now that people are in lockdown, they can do it all online instead of having to meet face to face. But yeah.
Correct. Yeah. It's just something to make it a little bit easier. So hopefully everyone likes the site, and hopefully it helps. We're constantly adding product. We're about to add our two-tone, 2-color rings on. So they're going to be going up next. It's gents 2-color. Actually, will be the next ones to go up. But yeah, I think we're up to about 40 engagement rings. About 100 and it's actually probably about 160, 170 wedding rings, but all in different variations as well, online so far. So there's a significant amount, but we'll keep adding to that to
Well, you've got loads of different designs anyway, and you also do bespoke ones as well. So this is just a small selection, I imagine.
Yeah, it is exactly. And coloured stones is something we haven't really got into online yet because it's so complicated. It's a lot more complex. So what we've done is we've left that just purely for the bespoke side for now. So it's sapphires or alexandrites or amethysts or any other coloured stone you're looking for. Then we can obviously do that as a bespoke job and quote for that separately. But we can still do that. We can still manage all of that online or via phone quite easily. We can send CAD images and images of a design, put the design together, send the images, and go back and forth. So we can still do that if that's wanted, but it's always quite nice when the showroom's open to really sit down and go through a bespoke job.
Absolutely. Lovely. So we've obviously just had 2 very popular days when it comes to getting engaged, that being Mother's Day and Valentine's Day. Do you find you're busier at these times of year?
For us, to be honest, it tends to be spread throughout the year. I think there's a lot of people that do get engaged at those times of the year. Some people will buy engagement rings before that from us, we feel. We've very much been more wedding ring led until recently, more so because we started, really the business was started by going to wedding fairs, really. We built it up from there. So with lovely people like yourselves. So yeah, it's been that's kind of where it all started, and we've sort of progressed from there. So, but engagement rings, we do tend to get busy at those periods, but I tend to feel that some people, I think there's a significant amount of people that don't want to get engaged or propose on an expected day, if you like. So like it to be a bit more of a surprise, and therefore it will be more random than Christmas Day or Valentine's Day, which I think is, either's fine. I think either's nice. It's all about getting engaged and moving on with your life together. I think more so than anything else. So when you do it, I think doesn't matter, but yeah, I think we tend to be busy throughout the year because of that.
Yeah, absolutely. If someone did have a date in mind that they did want to propose, how early in advance do they need to contact you to get that bespoke ring?
That's a good question. For it depends whether it's bespoke or not bespoke. For bespoke, I try and ask people to give us 3 months. Now I know that sounds like a very, very long time, but I ask people to try and give us that. If we need to turn something around in 2, 3, 4 weeks, we can do it. Don't get me wrong, we can do it. It's no problem. But the reason we like more time is because it's really good when it's a bespoke design to sit down, go through the design, get the design together. We get a design together. So get out the ideas from your head, get it into a design it, present it, and then if you're happy, if you're happy with that design, then obviously it's great. We can just go ahead and make it. But if there's tweaks or there's something you don't like, or it takes time going back and forth saying, right, we'll tweak that and change here, and so that extra time really does help. I'll also add that our bespoke design service is completely free as well, so we don't charge for that service at all. The reason, quite a few people have asked why we don't charge for it previously, and the reason we don't charge for it is because, in my personal opinion, if we are going to design a ring for you, if we can't get it perfect at the right price, then we don't deserve the work. So therefore, why should you pay for us to not get it right? You shouldn't. So in my opinion, no one in our industry should really be charging you for that design work. They should be doing it free of charge if they're confident on what they can provide you with, which we are. If it's a non-bespoke ring, it's not a bespoke ring, and it's one from our collection, it's normally around, we say 15 working days, and up to 15 working days, but we can work to that. But it's normally around anywhere between 15 and 25 working days, so 3 to 5 weeks really.
Yeah, quite quick. Yeah. Lovely. Next question: do you have a favourite engagement story of one of your couples?
Right, I'm gonna spill the beans now. So there's lots of lovely ones, but actually mine is probably, it's probably my favourite is actually mine. I know that sounds really selfish and it sounds terrible, doesn't it? But it's mine. Probably because my wife would kill me for mentioning this, especially online. She would absolutely kill me for mentioning this. But we love each other enough that I'm sure we'll survive through me saying this. I bought the ring, and I was driving back actually from Bristol at the time. We were living in Devon, down in Plymouth, and I was driving down, and I called her to say that do you want to go out for dinner this evening, and she very much kept saying, no, I just want to go to the gym. I don't want to go out for dinner tonight. And I told her that a customer of mine at the time had recommended a lovely restaurant, strangely called the Horn of Plenty, down in Tavistock, and it was a lovely restaurant down there. And so I drove back. Eventually, she said yes, she would go out for dinner. I drove back. I went to her friend's house. I was around her friends and just sort of telling her friend that I'm going to propose this evening, and she called her friend. So I pretended I wasn't there. Her friend answered the phone on speakerphone and said, "Oh, it's Hannah. Listen." And all Hannah proceeded to do was moan about me. So she proceeded to moan that, oh my goodness, Leon wants to go out for dinner tonight. I don't want to go out for dinner. I just want to go to the gym. He always does this, Anyway, so she gets off the phone. We get off the phone, and I go and pick her up. I've already packed her a bag earlier in the day, so we were staying away the night. We've driven to this restaurant and place we're going to, and she's wearing jeans, t-shirt, and a big long coat to hide her jeans and t-shirts. She's wearing a big long coat. She thought we were just going to not anywhere as fancy as where we were going. Yeah. So we turned up, and a butler came out and opened the car door, took us through to the drawing room where everyone's wearing ball gowns. and Hannah opened the menu, looked at the menu, and went, "Oh my goodness, we are not eating here. Have you seen these prices? Oh my goodness, we need to go. Come on, let's go." I said, "No, no, 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 no." Eventually, we got through to the restaurant, and I said to her, "Would you like a drink?" And she said, "I need a drink." And I said, "You're going to need a drink in a minute." And she said, "Why?" And I went down on one knee, and she instantly said, "Oh my goodness, oh my goodness, I'm such a..." I won't repeat that word, but she said she's such a something, and we both laughed. And I said, "Well," I said, "Yes, I say nothing, but yes, it's been a tough day," is all I said. So, and that's it. Yeah, we've lived happily ever after. So yeah, it's been great. So
definitely memorable, isn't it?
Definitely memorable. Yeah, yeah. But I always say this to many guys, because many guys actually ask me when they sit down. They say, "What did you do?" Or "How, what do you think I should do?" And I always say, do what's personal to you both. I think that's, make it about you two. However you do it. If you're extravagant, be extravagant. If you like to do it up in the hills or in the woods, and that's a sort of place that you go walking a lot together, then do it there. I always think, make it personal, and that's the most important thing. It's about you both.
Yes, I agree. Lovely. Next question. Do you find that different shapes or stones are more popular than others?
Yeah, I think we tend to, round brilliant tends to be the most popular diamond shape. And we find that we definitely get asked for round brilliant diamonds more than anything else. We also tend to sell more solitaires, so single stone diamond rings, than anything else as well, actually. But in saying that, you get people. Everyone's different. My wife actually, my wife had a princess cut diamond, which is a square diamond, and then it was our 10th year anniversary last year. And she proceeded to tell me at one of the wedding fairs that her original ring doesn't really do my company much justice. Doesn't do Wedstones much justice. So yeah. So the slightly bigger round brilliant diamond is what she now has. So yeah, she's done well there. But yeah, so round brilliant is definitely the most preferred. But again, it's personal preference. Some people like Marquise, some people like pear. I personally like them all. A round brilliant, I think, is beautiful if you've got a really nice round brilliant stone, because it sparkles so well, because the way it refracts the light. But in saying that, I think some of the other shapes are absolutely stunning also. The one thing to consider when getting an engagement ring, actually, and the stone shape, is to think about the wedding ring that's going to have to sit with that, because that's something that a lot of people don't consider. They buy the ring and then they go to get a wedding ring, go, "Oh my goodness, how am I going to get a wedding ring to fit around this?" We can make a wedding ring to fit around it, of course, but it's sometimes something to consider at an earlier stage. If as many ladies, girls now are being involved in actually the engagement ring purchase. So yeah, it does make a big difference. So
yeah, absolutely. Next question. Oh, if someone already has a ring that they bought elsewhere, is there anything you can do with it, like alter it, add to it, plate it, upgrade it?
Yes, we can. Yeah. There's lots we can do, but there are some things to be very careful of when buying wedding rings and engagement rings, especially on engagement rings. Actually, here is you'll find that a lot of rings, what they'll do is some people will. I'll try and grab an image and see if I can get an image of this quickly. Some people will hollow out the ring, so they hollow out behind the diamonds, and that's causes a lot of problems. It becomes very problematic because it means the ring is weak. So if you move the ring, if you knock it on something, it's quite likely that you'll lose a stone, and also that you can bend the ring. Then what you can also what's also to consider is that at the bottom of the ring sometimes they thin the band. The reason they do these things, some companies will do these things, is they'll hollow it and thin it because you won't notice, or the guy won't notice when he's buying it, but you get that look and you think it's a fantastic price, but actually what you've got for your money isn't as fantastic because one, it's more susceptible to damage, and unfortunately when it is damaged, if it's gold or white gold, it's unlikely that it can sometimes be repaired because it may be so thin. So being heated is not possible. So the only option is actually to laser repair it. So it's a lot more tricky, makes things a lot more trickier, and sometimes means that it just can't be repaired. So this is an idea of one that we actually did. So I don't know if you can see that, and you'll probably see as it turns, you can see we've remade that. So you can see one's hollowed,
yes,
the other one is thick and it's solid, and that's where we've remade that ring. We've actually made the top thicker as well, the head. So we've made it all slightly thicker. So we actually copied someone else's ring because you can't see it quite in this photo, but some of the claws are damaged and the ring's slightly bent, and it was quite severely damaged, and the customer wasn't very happy with it. She had bought it from another jeweler. I won't mention whom, for obvious reasons, but they came to us and said, look, is there anything you can do? And I said, well, all we can do is really remake it in our quality. So that's what we've done. Which is why the old comment of buy cheap, buy twice comes to mind. Sometimes it's not always the best option. I'll also mention that another thing, we did some research very recently and actually compared our prices with high street jewelers, with major high street jewelers. So one of the major multiples is all I'll say, and we compared our prices, and we actually found that most of our rings were between 40 and 55% cheaper than theirs, like for like, which is a huge difference. So what they had actually done is they'd put down that it was a 0.96 carat diamond. It very much looked like that and read like that in all the detail, which I actually thought that's what it was. Then it was only when I went into the specification and looked further, which is why you should always look at all the detail, I realised that was the total carat weight of the shoulder diamonds, the under halo it had, and the centre diamond. Therefore, it was actually a 0.7 carat diamond, not a 0.96. So when we compared, we actually thought, we're slightly cheaper than this 0.96 carat diamond. When we looked at it further, we realised actually we were just over 55% cheaper. Like for like, and our diamond quality, our diamond was actually it was 0.05 of a carat larger. It was the same clarity and color, but it's slightly better cut. So actually our diamond was significantly better, but significantly cheaper. I think the actual figures were, theirs was 8,300 and ours was £3,730.
Wow, big difference.
For the same ring. So it's always good to look at all the detail and compare. And if you need a device to compare, feel free to ask us, and we'll really look at the detail and let you know what the differences are. So I'm trying to help you and guide you with it.
Absolutely, lovely. Speaking of accidentally knocking a ring or anything like that, do you have any advice on the types of insurance someone should get for their rings?
Yeah, you can. There's two ways that we'd recommend really. You can either insure it with your house insurance. You can always add it to your house insurance if you have contents insurance. That's always a good way of doing it. Alternatively, if you either don't have contents insurance or if you don't want to put it on there, then you can cover it through jewellery insurance. We actually have a jewellery insurance company that we use, who we insure actually commercial insurance through, but they also do consumer. So they're actually very inexpensive. Their prices are very good, and the insurance policies are I would say exceptionally good. Their payout, the way they pay out, and the coverage is very, very good. The only thing is if you're having your ring valued, for your house insurance, you need to have it valued by an independent registered valuer, because that's all they would take, because they're not in our industry. That's all they'll take. So registered independent valuer, we have one that comes here. We can do that here. It doesn't cost a fortune. It's normally between about £25 and £65 per item, and we can do that here. But if you're using a jewellery insurance and you're using someone like the insurance company we use, then they will simply take our valuation as standard, because they know whom we are, and we're accredited by the National Association of Jewellers, which means that we are trustworthy, should I say, is probably the best way to put it. And they know we are because of that. So yeah.
Very useful. Lovely. So I think this is one of our last questions.
Okay.
Do you do engravings?
Yeah, we do. In fact, we can do engravings. We can do engravings inside a ring. We can do it outside a ring. We can pretty much do engravings, different types of engravings. We're actually engraving one at the moment, which has been, or I say we're just pricing for one at the moment, which has been a very, very difficult job. It was actually someone that chose a specific mounting range that he had seen, and he wanted that specific mounting range engraved on the outside of the ring. Now, there's a few difficulties that come with that. One, that if you're trying to match a mounting range that's from there to there, trying to match the mounting tops or peaks, or to match it as it goes round, is very difficult. And secondly, to try and engrave something from a picture like that is also very tricky. So what we've done is we found that we can convert it into a vector file, which I knew nothing about recently, but we can convert it into a vector file, and then once we convert it into a vector file, we can actually engrave it. And what we've decided to do, as we've mentioned to him, is it may be better to fade out the edge of the mounting range as it comes around the bottom and leave a little bit of plain ring. So if ever he puts on weight or loses weight and needs it resized, it's going to be a very, 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 very easy job. And makes it much easier and cheaper for him in the future as well. And he loved that idea. He thought it was a fab idea. So that's what we're doing. So yeah, we can engrave whatever you like on rings. So yeah,
like dates and everything like that.
Dates as well. I will say with the pandemic, we've re-engraved lots and lots of rings because people have had dates on their rings and then had to change them. So my best advice would be actually is to not engrave them with dates until after you're married. So I would get your rings, that's fine, and then it doesn't take very long to get them engraved. You'll only be without it for a few days. But that's what I would do, and then after the wedding, get it engraved, and then at least you know the date is correct and never needs to be changed.
Yeah, absolutely. We've actually had a question come in from one of our brides, Joe Ledger.
Yeah.
Hi Leon, how far in advance would you recommend we choose our wedding rings with you?
You can, to be honest, some people do it, choose their wedding rings with us. We've got rings actually that people have chosen 2 years in advance, which I think is a bit extreme, but everyone's different. If I'm honest, if you give it 3, 4, 5 months, I think you've got plenty of time. Most people do like to do it before then. I would say the majority choose their rings about 8 to 9 months in advance, I would say. We can resize same day. Subject to obviously the pandemic and everything, we can resize same day. So if by any small chance the ring needed a small tweak for us to resize it, we can do it very quickly. So there's never anything to panic about. If anything we can do very, very quickly, to be honest. So yeah, whenever you feel is right for you is what I would probably say. But don't leave it till 6 weeks or 5 weeks before the wedding, please.
We actually got another question from Joe again. Do you offer a polishing service?
Yeah, we actually clean. If it's a ring we haven't we haven't sold to you, then yes, we will. We're happy to take it in, clean it. We do repair work, restoration, so we can pretty much do anything. We also, just to elaborate, we buy gold as well, and we can take it off the price of rings if you're buying something. Yeah, we can. So I've gone off the mark now. Tell me the question again. Sorry.
Do you offer a polishing service?
Polishing service, goodness me. Yeah. So if it's a rings you've bought from us, actually, we will always clean them in house. We'll clean them free of charge. So you can bring them to us. We'll always just clean them for you. You can just, what I normally say to people is just give us a call beforehand, book in with us. You can drop in, have a cup of tea or coffee, and we'll literally give them a good clean for you, and then you can go away and take it with you. So you're not having to leave it at all as well. If it needs a really deep clean, it needs completely repolishing because it's got a lot of deep scratches on it. Then it may need to go to our workshop, which is local, but we can normally do that within 24 hours as well. So it doesn't take very long. Yeah, it doesn't take very long at all.
Okay, so you can get that all nice and clean, ready for the wedding day.
Exactly, yeah. And what we do as standard, if you buy your wedding rings from us, whether you bought the engagement ring from us or elsewhere, we will always clean the engagement ring. And if it's white gold and it needs rhodium plating, we'll rhodium plate it free of charge before the wedding, because it's important that your rings, irrelevant of whether they were all bought by us or just the weds, I believe it's very important for them to all look absolutely perfect for your wedding day. And it's important, right? So.
Absolutely, yeah. Spend them most on show.
Exactly, yeah, it is. And everyone's going to be asking to see your rings. They're going to be looking at your engagement ring as well as your wedding ring. So it's really important to make sure that they're both looking at their absolute best. And actually, so many people, I would say, come to us and we clean it, and then they go, "Oh my goodness, it looks cleaner than when it was new." They would say, "It can't be cleaner than when it was new," but it does if you give it a good clean. We also sell cleaning kits here as well, so we have some bits and pieces which people can purchase, which are, I think they start from £9.99 and go up to I think £40 is the most expensive. But cleaning kits, so you can actually do it at home as well. So yeah, it's nice and easy.
Perfect. Well, I think that's all the questions. Thank you so much for joining us.
No problem. You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
That's quite all right. Hopefully next one will be in person at one of our wedding fairs sometime this year.
Oh, I hope so. Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, I'm sure it will. Fingers crossed. It looks like after yesterday's news, we're all going to a better place. So yeah.
Thank you for everyone who is watching us. Do feel free to keep leaving comments. Me and Lou will be looking at them the next couple of days and everything like that. Likewise, do contact him by his email. But thank you very much for watching, and hopefully see you at our next Talk Tuesday.
Brilliant. Thank you, and thank you all. Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.